Welcome to the news. I'm Niger Delta Television. I am Ibimesia Apa. Thanks for joining us. Governor Doye Diri and other state governors mourn former military administrator, Navy Captain Walter Fayabo. Academic Staff Union of Universities ASU suspend 2 weeks warning strike. Plus, Akenfa indigenes protest alleged abandonment of bridge projects. Now the news in details. Bayelsa State Governor Senator Doye Diri has described the death of former military administrator of Ebonyi and Delta States, Navy Captain Walter Aye Fayabo, as a great loss to the state, the people of Nembe, the Ijo Nation, and Nigeria in general. Governor Diri described Fayabo as a disciplined officer and a great patriot who left at a time its services were still required by the state and the country at large. The reports.
Governor Diri, who extended the condolences of the state to the Fayabo family and the Nembe Kingdom, urged them to take solace and be comforted by his distinguished military career on unblemished national service. He said Fayabo, as a military officer, had indelible marks in public service and left very exemplary footprints wherever he served. He also prayed the Almighty to strengthen the family and grant them the fortitude to bear the loss. Similarly, in his tribute, the governor of Ebonyi State, retired Honorable Francis Ogbonna Infuru, described the passing of the pioneer military administrator of the state, retired Navy Captain Walter Fayabo, as colossal loss to the nation. According to the governor, Fayabo will forever be remembered as a man of vision, discipline, and uncommon patriotism, who laid a solid socio-economic and political foundation for Ebonyi State at its infancy. In a similar vein, Governor Sheriff Oborowe of Delta State has also expressed deep sadness over the passing of former military administrator Commander Walter Fayabo, retired, describing his death as a great loss not only to the Ijo Nation but to the entire country. Oborowe, in a statement issued by his chief press secretary, Sir Festus Ahon, commiserated with the government and people of Bayelsa State, the Nembe Kingdom, and the immediate family of the late Fayabo, noting that Nigeria has lost a disciplined officer, patriotic leader, and a true son of the Niger Delta. Navy Commander, retired Walter Fayabo, was born on March 10, 1955 in Okreka, Rivers State, and from Bayelsa in the Nembe local government area of Bayelsa State. He attended Okreka Grammar School, Okreka, before his admission into the 19th Regular Combatant Course of the Nigerian Defense Academy, NDA, Kaduna, where he graduated in 1976 with a specialization in naval operations and strategy. Fayabo's naval career spanned over 2 decades, during which he rose through the ranks to become a Navy captain before his retirement in 1999. Naro Atembo, NDTV News.
Chairman of the 32 Rural Development Authorities (RDA) in Bayelsa State have resigned their membership of the People's Democratic Party (PDP). At a press briefing held in Yenagoa at the weekend, the chairman eulogized the state governor, Senator Doye Diri, describing him as a true leader. Correspondent George Ameli reports in a subsequent bulletin. Also, political appointees in Bayelsa State under the aegis of Senior Special Assistant Forum have announced the resignation from the People's Democratic Party (PDP). The resignation was pronounced before newsmen in Yenagoa. This report will also be brought to you in a subsequent bulletin. In related developments, with the recent resignation of Bayelsa State Governor Senator Doye Diri from the People's Democratic Party (PDP), all technical assistants of his administration have also followed suit. This was made known at a press briefing in Yenagoa as the Technical Advisors Forum, led by its chairman Basil Kenbo, reaffirmed their unwavering commitment and also passed a vote of confidence on Governor Doye Diri. Correspondent George Ameli reports.
I, Governor Doye Diri, do hereby resign my membership of the People's Democratic Party.
With Governor Doye of Bayelsa State on Wednesday, the 15th of October at the Executive Council chambers during EXCO, announcing his resignation of his membership of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, some political stakeholders have followed suit, and it is not any different at the Golden Tulip Hotel in Government House, Yanagwa, over the weekend, as technical advisors, during a press briefing, took their stand in solidarity with the Bayelsa State Governor.
We gather today as the Forum of Technical Advisors to the Governor of Bayelsa State to reflect on a defining moment in our political journey and to reaffirm our collective commitment to the future of our dear state. Following the recent resignation of His Excellency Senator Doye, Governor of Bayelsa State, from the People's Democratic Party, we, the technical advisors, stand in full solidarity with him.
Chairman of the group of technical advisors to Governor Doye reaffirmed their support for their principal.
We, the members of the Forum of Technical Advisors, have also resolved to resign from the PDP. This action reflects our trust in the governor's leadership, our belief in his purposeful direction, and our shared conviction that his current course will open a new chapter of opportunities and transformation for Bayelsa State. Under the leadership of His Excellency Senator Doye, Bayelsa has experienced tremendous development across critical sectors: infrastructure, education, healthcare, agriculture, and economic empowerment. His administration has placed people at the center of governance, ensuring that every initiative contributes to the betterment of our citizens.
The highlight of the briefing is the passing of a vote of confidence on Senator Doye.
Those who say we are with His Excellency on his decision, say aye. Aye. Those who say they are not going, say nay.
From Government House in Yanagwa, George Ameli reporting for NDTV News.
Now away from politics, the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has suspended of its 2 weeks warning strike, giving the federal government a 1-month window to conclude the renegotiation of the 2009 FGN-ASU agreements and address other unresolved issues affecting the nation's university system. President of the union, Professor Chris Piwuna, disclosed this on Wednesday during a press briefing in Abuja, where he explained that the suspension is as a result of fruitful engagements with the federal government and key interventions from the National Assembly. The ASU president revealed that following the commencement of the strike, the federal government re-engaged the union through a theme led by Alhaji Yayale Ahmed, which met with ASU representatives on October 16th and 18th to discuss the government's response with draft renegotiation agreements. According to him, although the meetings did not fully resolve all issues, the union recognized that significant progress had been made compared to pre-strike period. Piwuna also commended the intervention of the Senate Committees on Tertiary Education and Third Fund and Labor, as well as the Deputy Senate President, Senator Barrow Jibrin, whose mediation is said had rekindled hope for a lasting resolution. ASU, however, warned that should the government fail to resolve the outstanding issues within the 1-month window, the union will be left with no option but to resume the strike action without further notice. You're still watching the news. On the headlines again. Governor Doye Diri and all the state governors mourn former military administrator, Navy Captain Walter Fayabo. Academic Staff Union of Universities ASU suspend 2 weeks warning strike. Still to come in the news. Akenfa indigenes protest alleged abandonment of bridge projects. Details of these and all the stories coming up shortly after the break. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Niger Delta Television News and Current Affairs Department at the NS Equally Media Complex here in Yanagwa, Bayelsa State.
One of NDTV's traditional objectives is to disseminate information with renewed vigor. We build teamwork for accountability, efficiency, and accuracy.
Our community reports, eyewitness accounts, current affairs discussions are detailed and competitive.
As NDTV reporters, undiluted report is our goal. We gather the news and bring it to you just as it is.
Our cameras are poised to get in the story behind the story in an in-depth news report.
Our new digital equipment are top-notch with clearer visuals and audio. NDTV is repositioned to serve you better.
Join us on the news every day at 7 a.m., 12 p.m., and our major bulletin at 7:30 p.m. on Channel 25 UHF. NDTV, crystallizing the vision.
Welcome back to the news. Economic activities in Yanagwa, Bayelsa State capital almost came to a halt following a protest by indigenes of Akenfa community over alleged abandonment of a bridge project sited in the community. Members of the community who came out in the early hours of the day barricaded the Melford-Okilo Expressway, leading to heavy hold-up and loss of man-hours by commuters. Senior correspondent Fuebi Aka tells us more.
Indigenes of Akenfa community in Yanagwa local government area came out in their numbers to the point of the protest as early as 6 a.m. They barricaded the Akenfa market axis of the Melford-Okilo Road, where the alleged abandoned bridge project is sited, claiming they have waited too long for the project to be completed.
We are here carrying out this peaceful protest today as a result of the neglect from government, from SPDC. Of course, we have consulted, we have written several letters to the government, to NDDC, we have met. The last time we met in Government House, the meeting was presided over by our dear Deputy Governor, the miracle Deputy Governor. He promised us that in 3 months' time that they will come to continue the process of the bridge. This is the only bridge that is linking the Melford-Okilo Road to the Glory Drive. And aside that, each time flood comes, we do lost life here in this bridge.
The protesters called on authorities to revisit the project and ensure speedy completion to prevent further loss of lives and property in the community.
My plea to government is let them come and fulfill their promise. 2 years ago, the governor made an announcement that the federal government has approved the construction of Akenfa Bridge, Bolaco, Samagina, and the rest. The Akenfa Bridge has been abandoned. We have written to government. Just this year, we have given them like 4 different reminders with regards to this.
As oil producing community, we are contributing our quota to the government. So we are calling on our miracle governor, our dear governor. Of course, we know he's doing well. So please come and pay attention to the bridge and complete and link up this bridge for commercial and industrial purpose to go on.
As at the time of gathering the report, there was heavy vehicular holdup on both sides of the road as a lot of motorists diverted to alternative routes within the state capital. Meanwhile, despite heavy presence of security personnel, the protesters vowed to continue the blockade until their concerns were addressed. Fuebi Aka, NDTV News.
And on the entertainment scene, former United States Vice President Kamala Harris will be partnering with Nigerian author Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie for a special conversation as part of our tour to promote her book, 107 Days, at the London Literature Festival on October 23rd. For these and more on entertainment news, let's join Ebitare Ojoke.
And now for entertainment news, Nigerian rapper Odumodu Black has revealed the reason behind the signature red cap. Speaking in an interview, a podcast platform on Comfortably Speaking, the rapper explained that the red cap, which has become his trademark, holds cultural significance in Igbo tradition. He said the cap is usually worn by warriors whenever his tribe wants to go to war against another clan. According to him, the music industry is a battleground and the red cap represents his readiness to face challenges. Next on entertainment news, Nollywood actress and entrepreneur Nkechi Blessing has offered a prayers for women trying to conceive, urging them to remain hopeful and keep their faith alive. Blessing made this prayer on Tuesday through a post on her Instagram page, where she shared photos of herself dressed with a fake baby bump. The post was part of the popular Dress Like Your Miracle challenge, inspired by gospel artist Nathaniel Bassey Hallelujah Challenge. In her message, the actress encouraged women trusting God for the fruit of the womb to believe that their prayers will be answered before the end of the year. She also assured them that they would carry their pregnancies to term and delivery safely. The Hallelujah Challenge is a viral faith-based movement that began on social media, where participants expressed their belief in God's promises by acting out their dressing like their desired miracles. The challenge, initiated by Nathaniel Bassey, promotes the faith, hope, and positive declarations among believers. Lastly, on entertainment news, former United States Vice President Kamala Harris has announced that she will be in conversation with Nigerian author Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie at the London Literature Festival on Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. Harris made this known in a post on X on Tuesday, saying she looked forward to speaking with the Nigerian author as part of her ongoing 107 Days book tour. The London stop, which is already sold out, is one of several appearances on the tour that began after the book's release on September 23, 2025. The book offers readers an insider view of the challenges, lessons, and emotions behind her campaign. The upcoming conversation with Chimamanda Adichie will take place in partnership with Foy's as part of the London Literature Festival program. And that's it for entertainment news. I am Ibitari Ojeke.
And now to foreign news. Over 40 persons have died following multiple road crashes on a major highway in Uganda. Correspondent Christiana Adewoye gives us details of this report and other foreign stories.
46 people have been killed after several vehicles crashed on a major highway in Uganda. The police revised down an earlier death toll of 63, saying they had mistakenly included victims who were unconscious and were now being treated. The crash occurred when the buses traveling in opposite directions had head-on collision while trying to overtake two other vehicles on the Kampala-Gulu highway at Uganda. One of the buses swerved in an attempt to avoid a crash, but in the process caused a head-on and side collision that led to a chain reaction in which other vehicles lost control and overturned. The Israeli Defense Force IDF have confirmed the identification of two hostages, Aryeh Zalmanowicz and Tameh Adar, whose bodies were returned by Hamas through a Red Cross-mediated transfer from Gaza. The two men residents of Kibbutz Nahos were abducted during the Hamas attack on October 7, 2023. Israeli authorities said the bodies were transferred through the Kerem Shalom crossing, examined and confirmed through forensic testing before being released to their families. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu condemned Hamas for holding the bodies, calling their return a painful reminder of the group's cruelty. Officially pledged to continue efforts to recover all remaining hostages, both alive and deceased. The recovery comes amid renewed negotiations for a ceasefire and wider hostage exchange between Israel and Hamas, with over 130 people who are still believed to be held in Gaza. Former French President Nicolas Sarkozy has begun serving a 5-year prison sentence after being convicted of criminal conspiracy and illegal campaign financing involving an alleged €50 million donation from late Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi. Sarkozy, 70, reported to La Santé prison in Paris on Monday, becoming the first former French president in modern history to be imprisoned. French investigators say the funds were funneled from Libya to support his 2007 presidential campaign, violating France's campaign finance laws. Despite the conviction, Sarkozy denies all wrongdoing, describing the verdict as a judicial scandal. His lawyers have filed an appeal, insisting the case is politically motivated.
From the ever-busy world of sports, in the league phase of the UEFA Champions League, English Premier League leaders has now defeated Spanish team Atletico Madrid 4-0 at the Emirates Stadium in London. New man on the block, Victor Gyökeres, ended his 9-game goalless streak with 2 goals in the match. Sports correspondent Ayemi Ene gives us details of this report and other sports stories.
Arsenal defeated Atletico Madrid 4-0 in the UEFA Champions League on Tuesday, with Gabriel Magalhaes and Gabriel Martinelli scoring before Victor Gyökeres added a brace. The hosts dominated a goalless first half at the Emirates Stadium, with Martinelli and Bukayo Saka providing constant threats. Martinelli had a goal disallowed for offside. Saka drew a fine stop from Jan Oblak, and Eberechi Eze hit the crossbar. A familiar route brought a familiar goal scorer in the form of Gabriel, who headed Arsenal ahead 3 minutes before the hour mark. The bullish central defender slipped past Atletico's stubborn defense to make a glancing contact with a Declan Rice free kick to give the Gunners the lead. Martinelli then scored the second after Miles Lewis-Kelly made a brilliant run from midfield to set him up. Gyökeres stuck to his task and scored a brace, bringing an end to his 9-game goalless drought. Other games saw high score lines, with Bayer Leverkusen losing 7-2 at home to current champions Paris Saint-Germain. Barcelona beat Olympiacos 6-1 at home. Antonio Conte's Napoli suffered a 6-2 thrashing against PSV. Newcastle beat Benfica 3-0. Manchester City cruised to a 2-0 victory away at Villarreal, with Erling Haaland scoring in his 12th consecutive match. A source close to the NFF disclosed to ESPN that the Nigerian Super Eagles will no longer play the friendlies against Venezuela and Colombia in the United States next month as scheduled. The Super Eagles' November 18 game against Colombia at the Citi Field in New York and November 14 game against Venezuela at the Shell Energy Stadium in Houston were announced by the NFF last month. However, due to the Super Eagles' late playoff qualification following their 4-0 win over Benin Republic last week, the matches would be cancelled so that the team could focus on the playoff qualification matches. Nigeria would compete in the playoffs against Cameroon, DR Congo, and Gabon in a one-legged 2 semi-final match. The winner of the semi-finals and the final will represent Africa in the intercontinental playoffs. Ayemi Miene for NDTV Sports.
To end the news, a recap of the major stories. Bayelsa State Governor Senator Doye Diri has described the death of former military administrator of Ebonyi and Delta State, Navy Captain Walter Aye Feyabo, as a great loss to the state, the people of Nembe, the Ijaw Nation, and Nigeria in general. We also brought you reports that the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has announced the suspension of its 2-week warning strike, giving the federal government a 1-month window to conclude with renegotiation of the 2009 FGN ASU agreement and address other unresolved issues affecting the nation's university system. And finally, economic activities in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State capital, almost came to a halt following a protest by indigents of Akenfa community over alleged abandonment of a bridge project in the community. And that's it all on the news. Many thanks for staying with us. I am Ebimesia Apa. Do have a great time ahead.